She left the window open when she went. Not on purpose, I think just forgot. Curtain's been doing that slow billow thing all week. I keep almost closing it and then not. Her plant is still on the sill. I've been watering it on the same schedule she had. Tuesday and Friday, small amount. She wrote it on a piece of tape on the pot. There's a mug she bought at that market in Hongdae. Ceramic, slightly lopsided, orange glaze. I use it every morning now. Before I used it never, it was just hers. The bookshelf has her gaps in it. 5 books she took, I remember which ones. Left one behind, the thick one about birds. Either forgot it or decided I needed it more. I found her hair tied behind the bathroom mirror, the kind she bought in bulk, pale yellow. Put it in the drawer instead of throwing it out, which tells you where I'm at with things. Grocery list on the fridge still has her handwriting. Last 2 items in blue pen, her color. I got everything except those 2. I don't know why, I just keep walking past them. She used to fall asleep with the TV on. I turn it off around midnight, same channel every time. Room's quiet now at midnight, quieter than I remembered rooms could be. Ran into her friend at the mart last Thursday. We both pretended we were in a hurry. She probably texted her right after. I thought about what that text said for a while. The window let in a moth last Tuesday. It circled the lamp for most of the night. I left the light on so it wouldn't get lost. Ended up staying up later than I meant to. Found it gone in the morning, no sign. Either it found the window again or it didn't. I chose to think it found the window. Some things you just decide to believe. The curtain's still doing that billow thing. Less now, the wind changed direction this week. Plant looks fine, actually better than expected. Bird's book is still on the shelf where she left it. I keep meaning to read it, probably won't, but it stays there. And the window stays open a little. And Tuesday I'll water the plant again. Yeah. Open up the windows. Let the fresh air in. Good morning. Sunlight creeping through the gaps of the wooden blinds, leaving all the heavy dreams and dark thoughts behind. The kettle is singing the morning melody so sweet as the world slowly wakes up right beneath my feet. I take a deep breath, feel the coolness in my chest. Today is a blank page, yeah, I'm feeling truly blessed. No rush, no pressure, just moving with the breeze. Watching the green leaves dancing on the backyard trees. Got my coffee cup warm, held tight in my hand, sketching out the daily routine that I planned. A little bit of music, a little bit of grace, finding my own tempo in this beautiful space. And ride a morning breeze, letting your worries go, flowing with the rhythm, gentle and slow. Underneath the early sky painted in shades of blue, everything is starting fresh, everything is new. Hey, hey, I walk out to the garden, sneakers on the morning dew, looking at the lettuce leaves in the green soil too. There's a quiet magic before the city starts to roar, when you realize what you're really working for. It's not the gold or the flash or the loud applause, it's the peace in your heart, living by your own laws. So I let the lo-fi bossa loop roll on and play, guiding my footsteps into a brand new day. Rhyme after rhyme, keeping it organic and clean, living out the best moments right in between. Ride the morning everything is new. Yeah, take your time. So if you're waking up now, rubbing the sleep from your eyes, don't let the weight of yesterday compromise your sunrise. We are the authors of the stories that we tell, learning how to navigate the quiet space as well. Keep your head high, let the melody clear the haze. We got a whole horizon ahead of us to gaze, from the foggy nights to the golden morning glow. This is the soundtrack of the soul, letting it flow. Morning breeze, keep flowing. Good day. The long way home was better. I didn't mean to take it. At first, I was just avoiding construction, a block sidewalk, a noisy intersection, one small detour that turned into three. The quickest route home disappeared behind me without permission. So I kept walking past streets I usually ignore, past stores that always seem closed except today. The record shop was open, a bicycle leaned against the brick wall outside. Someone was testing speakers inside. Old music spilling onto the sidewalk. A dog sat patiently outside a bakery, looking more responsible than most adults. The long way home was better, not because it was exciting, because it wasn't. Nothing remarkable happened. Nobody changed my life. Nobody gave a speech. Nobody handed me answers. It was just a walk, but sometimes a walk is enough. The afternoon sun sat low between buildings, making everything look slightly more cinematic than it deserved. The convenience store owner was restocking drinks. A kid practiced skateboard tricks for nearly 20 minutes, landing none of them, still smiling every time. Someone carried groceries with one broken bag handle. A florist swept petals off the sidewalk. The city kept showing me small scenes like it had been saving them for the right audience. I crossed a bridge I don't usually cross, stopped halfway, looked down. The water wasn't beautiful, the view wasn't famous, but it felt honest, which is sometimes better. A train rolled by in the distance, people headed home from jobs, classes, appointments, mistakes, victories, all carrying invisible stories that nobody else could see. And somehow that thought made me happy. The world feels smaller when you remember everyone is living their own complicated day. The long way home was better because it gave me time to notice things I would have missed. A handwritten sign outside a cafe, a cat sleeping beneath a parked car, the smell of dinner escaping the apartment windows, the first street lights flickering awake, the sky turning from blue to gold to something in between. By the time I got home, I wasn't tired anymore, at least not in the same way. The to-do list remained, the email survived, tomorrow still existed. But the rush was gone, the noise was quieter, the day felt complete, all because I accidentally missed a turn and chose not to fix it. The long way home was better, maybe not faster, maybe not smarter, but definitely better. And if tomorrow gives me the choice again, I already know which road I'm taking. Three in the morning, the radiator clicks. I keep the window cracked even when it's cold like this. Your toothbrush is still in the second drawer. I moved it once and put it back, don't ask me why. Rain on the window sounds different since you left. Same rain, same glass, same street down there. The chicken place is still lit up at this hour. Two guys eating by themselves at separate tables. I found a receipt from that restaurant in Mapo, March. 2 orders of the spicy one. You always said it was too much, but finished it anyway. Little things like that keep showing up in my pockets. I checked your Instagram from a different account. New haircut looks good, someone commented a heart. I closed it and made tea, I didn't drink. Stood at the counter until the steam stopped. The dog next door barked at something around 4. I heard the owner shh through the wall. This building holds so many people, everyone on their own side of quiet. I've been sleeping at weird hours lately. 3 a.m. wide awake. Noon still in bed. The schedule I kept when you were here made sense because of reasons that aren't here. Rain's getting heavier now. Gutters are doing that overflow thing they do. I should probably close the window. I'm not gonna close the window. Change the sheets last Tuesday. Finally took longer than it should have. Stood in the hallway holding them for a while, then just put them in the machine and waited. 6 a.m. the rain slows down a little. Delivery guy on a scooter down below. I watch him from up here until he's gone. Wonder if he's going home or just starting. The sky does that thing before sunrise, where it's not dark but it's not anything yet. I know that color well now. I've been awake for most of them lately. The radiator clicks again. Something settles in the ceiling. Rain's still going. I'm still here. That's about as far as I got tonight. We ordered another coffee anyway. Even though we'd already been there for almost 3 hours. The cups were empty, the conversation wasn't. The weather changed twice while we sat there. Clouds came, left, and came back again. Someone nearby was studying for exams. Someone else was pretending to study, which honestly looked a lot more enjoyable. The playlist overhead kept drifting between jazz and old pop songs. Neither of us noticed until one track made us both stop talking for a second and listen. The waitress smiled like she'd seen this happen 1,000 times before. People arriving for one coffee and somehow staying until sunset. We ordered another coffee anyway, not because we needed it, because leaving felt unnecessary. The city outside was busy enough already. Inside, time had different plans. A kid drew dinosaurs on a napkin. An older couple shared one slice of cake. Someone forgot their umbrella, then came back laughing to get it. Nothing dramatic happened, and that's exactly why I remember it. The best days rarely announce themselves, they just quietly happen while we're paying attention to something else. By evening, the table's empty, the sunlight disappeared, the music got softer, and still neither of us stood up. Eventually, we did leave. Of course we did. But for a few hours, the cafe felt like the entire world. And honestly, that was enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Austin, 443, pull away. I was like 30 meters back, running with my back. Driver definitely saw me. Kept going, can't even be mad. Same thing I probably do. Stood there, breathing hard for a second. Receipt fell out of my pocket. Landed face down, gust of wind took it under a parked car. Let it go, didn't seem worth the crawl. Sat on the bench by the route map, the one with the faded number 7. Someone drew a little face on the Arbor Rose mine. It's been there for at least 2 years. I've clocked it. Old guy sitting at the other end had a paper cup or something, just watching traffic. We didn't talk, but he nodded once, I nodded back. That was enough actually. Next bus 14 minutes. I checked twice, got my phone out, put it back, got it out again. Watched a kid try to skateboard on the wrong kind of tiles. He fell twice and didn't stop. Respect. I thought about the thing I forgot to send, that email that's been sitting in my draft since Monday. I'll do it when I'm on the bus. I said that yesterday about a different email. Woman across the street was arguing with a dog. The dog was not engaging, just sitting. She picked it up eventually. Dog still had no opinion. Clouds were doing something good over the mark. Big stacked ones with flat bottoms. I took a photo and then looked at it, and it was just a photo of clouds, not the same. Phone buzz, mom asking if I ate. I said yeah, even though I hadn't yet. She sent a sticker of a bear with rice. I sent one back of a different bear. 14 minutes went somewhere. Bus came in, the driver looked tired. I found a window seat second from the back. City started scrolling past like always. Girl in front of me was watching a drama. I could hear the tinny audio through her earbuds. Someone was crying on screen. She didn't look up once, fully in it. Got off 2 stops early for no reason. Just walked the last part in the cool air. Picked up 2 cans from the corner store, the kind I get when I don't feel like deciding. That's about the old story of the 443. I missed it. Other stuff happened. I got home, the email is still in draft. Yeah, do. Yeah, do. The book I bought for the cover, the book I bought for the cover, wasn't the one I planned to take home. I came in looking for something else, something specific, something I had written down on a note in my phone. But halfway through the fiction section, I forgot what it was. The cover caught my attention first, nothing flashy, just a small illustration, a yellow chair next to an open window. For some reason, it felt familiar, like a place I'd never been, but somehow remembered. The bookstore was quiet, except for the fan overhead and the occasional sound of pages turning. Someone near the travel section was comparing guidebooks. A student sat cross-legged between shelves, reading without urgency, the kind of reading people only do when nobody is waiting for them. I carried the book around for almost 20 minutes, telling myself I was still deciding, but honestly, I think I'd already chosen. The cafe in the corner started grinding coffee beans. The smell drifted across the room and settled into everything. Books, tables, conversations, afternoons outside. The traffic light changed again and again. People hurried somewhere without me, and for once, it felt perfectly fine. The book I bought for the cover ended up being good, not life-changing, not brilliant, just good company for a slow evening. Some stories don't need to surprise you, they just need to sit beside you for a little while, like a friend who doesn't mind silence. When I finally paid, the cashier slipped a receipt inside and said, "That's one of my favorites." I smiled like we'd shared a secret. then step back into the sunlight. Book under my arm, coffee in my hand. No big plans, no important destination, just enough time to walk home slowly and start reading. Before the day was over, the book I bought for the cover was never really about the cover. It was about finding something I wasn't looking for and being glad I stopped long enough to notice it. Take the alley behind the pharmacy every time. Not because it's faster, it's not really. There's a persimmon tree that hangs over the wall in October, and a cat that sits on the third step of that building. The cat doesn't have a name I know of. I call it the gray one in my head. It was there 3 years ago when I moved in. Still there, same steps, same indifference, continuity. Continuity. Left at the wall with the faded mural. Someone painted it maybe 8 years back. Sun's taken half the color since then. A girl and a bicycle and some hills, what's left of them. Hardware store on the corner closes at 7. The owner always sweeps out front at 6:50. I've never been in there, but I know his schedule. We nod when our timing lines up, which it does. There's a house with wind chimes somewhere on this block. I've never figured out which one exactly. I've walked this route maybe 400 times. Still can't place it, which I actually like. The Pojang matcha that appeared in March wasn't here before March. I would've known. Fish cake and soju smell at the bend in the road. Old guy running it knows my usual already 2 months in. Lived in this neighborhood 3 years, longer than anywhere I've lived as an adult. I know which drains flood when it rains hard. I know which street light takes a minute to warm up. This isn't the neighborhood I planned on. I came here for the rent and stayed for the persimmons or the cat or the wind chimes I can't locate, or just the specific weight of knowing a place like this. Past the elementary school, closed for the night, metal gate, basketball hoop, the painted hopscotch grid. I watched a kid nail a free throw there last Tuesday. She didn't even react, just picked up the ball again. Convenience store by the park has a new part-timer. Been there since last month, still learning the register. He double checks the change every time, careful. I remember when the last one did the same thing. The park itself has 3 benches. I have opinions. The one by the water feature has the best angle. I sat there last Friday with a can of something cold. Watched the bats come out around 7:30, right on time. You don't know a place until you walk it like this. Not the main roads, not the way apps route you. The back way, the alley, with the persimmon tree. The cat that doesn't know your name but knows your face. 3 years of right turns and left turns, and which shop changed and which one held on. And the specific sound of this neighborhood after 9, when the kids are in and the dogs are done. Back around to my building from the long way, 22 minutes, I've counted before. Lights on in the unit above mine. Someone's cooking, I can hear the hood fan. Great cat might still be on that step. I didn't check on the way back, should've. There's always tomorrow's walk. Same route, probably slightly different in some way I won't expect. That's the thing about knowing a place. It keeps not being finished.
Found it in the 3rd crate from the back. No sleeve, just the label blue on black. 1967, someone's name in pencil on side B. Light enough that it's almost gone. Player at the back of the store for listening. Put it on, needle down, that crackle before the sound. The kind of crackle that means something lived here before me, before whoever owned it last. Yeah. Music from before I existed doing something to me. Chord I've never heard before, but somehow already know. The brain has rooms you didn't build yourself, inherited from people you'll never meet. Guy who runs the place didn't look up, been here every time I've come in, same chair, reading something different each time. We've talked maybe 4 sentences total, still feels like familiarity. Flip to side B, the penciled name, played it through twice trying to hear who that was. Man's voice, not famous, just good, the kind of good that didn't need more than this room. Thought about where this record was in 1974. What shelf, what city, whose hands, whether whoever bought it knew still remembers it, or if the record outlived the remembering. Bought it for $6,001. The guy looked at it and nodded like good choice. I don't know if that meant the music or the price. I took it as both. Walked home with it under my arm, that particular weight of 12 inches of vinyl, heavier than it should be for what it is, which is just plastic. But it isn't just plastic. Played it at home on the good player, cleaned it first, that ritual matters. Needle down, that same crackle, slightly different room. Some things travel well across decades. My dad had records, but I don't know where they went. Somewhere in the move, or before the move, he would've known this era. Same age bracket, I should ask him. I keep meaning to ask him. Side A again now, 3rd time tonight. That opening chord still does the same thing. Some musical fact that doesn't change with contexts, just lands where it lands every time. Windows dark, didn't notice the sun go. Record's almost done, last groove coming. Needle a lift in about 4 minutes. I'll probably put it back to the start. The penciled name on side B, whoever you were in 1967, you left something behind without knowing. And I found it in a crate on a Wednesday, and it was exactly what I needed. I don't know how that works, but it does. Yeah. Last train on the green line, 11:47. Got on because it was there, not because I needed to go somewhere. End of the line is Sangaldong. I've never been to Sangaldong for any particular reason. Car's half empty, that's Pacific late night Knicks. Woman in scrubs asleep against the window. 2 guys still in ties, both on their phones. Kid with a guitar case taking up a seat it can't afford. The underground has its own weather system, always the same temperature no matter the season. Slightly stale, slightly mineral, comfortable in the way that nothing's expected of you down here past the station. I went to once for a date, can't remember her name, but I remember the exit 4. There was a good Diakbaki place nearby, probably still there, probably still good. Yeah. Guy across from me is reading something physical, actual paper, spine bent, pages soft. I can't see the title from here. Spent 3 stops trying to figure it out. Couldn't. Transfers came and went, people traded out. Whole new set of strangers. The scrubs woman woke up at Jamsil, looked around, went back to sleep. A stop apparently not yet. I've been on this train 40 minutes now. Watch the map light up one stop at a time. There's something about movement that doesn't cost you anything. Going somewhere without it being about anything. Thought about work, dismissed it. Thought about the person I should've called back. Thought about what I want the next year to look like. Got as far as wanting coffee and stalled out. Yeah. The lights flicker between Chunho and Dungeon. They've been doing that for years, probably. No one looks up anymore. I looked up the first time, now I'm no one. Guy with the guitar got off at Doonchon Dome. Took the whole seat atmosphere with him. Car felt different after, harder to say why. Some people anchor a space without knowing it. Sanjo Dome came and went the other way now. The return without thinking much. Green line going back through everything I passed. Same stations, different directions, slightly different light. Woman in scrubs finally got off. Whoo! She moved fast for someone who looked that tired. I've done that. That second wind at the right stop. Body remembers before the brain does. Wings sending now, I could transfer, go further. There are lines from here that go for a long time. I know some of them by heart, just from looking. None of them are going somewhere I need to be tonight. Got off at the next stop, not for any reason. Just felt like the one stairs up the street level. That cold air hit, city still going. I came back up into it. Same city, me just slightly rearranged. The train went on without me. It'll be fine. The last croissant was somehow mine. I walked in late, later than usual, later than I promised myself I'd be. The cafe was already busy, laptops open, coffee cups half empty. Someone taking the meeting way too seriously. Near the window, the display shelf looked picked over, only crumbs and labels remained. Most of the good stuff was already gone, at least that's what I thought. Then I spotted it, one lonely croissant sitting on the corner tray, like it had somehow survived the morning rush. The guy in front of me looked at it, I looked at it. We both knew there was only one left, but he ordered a muffin instead. And suddenly, the universe made room for me. The last croissant was somehow mine. Not because I deserved it, not because I was lucky, just because life does weird things. Sometimes I found a seat near the front glass, watch people pass with places to be. Coffee arrived, still steaming, butter flakes falling onto the paper tray. The first bite felt better than it should have, maybe because I almost didn't get it. Funny how that works, we notice things more when we nearly miss them. Outside, a delivery driver double parked. Someone jogged through a red light. A dog refused to move until its owner agreed to go the other direction. The city was negotiating with itself again, and somehow everything felt lighter. A woman reading a mystery novel laughed out loud for no reason. I could hear someone dropped a spoon. 3 people looked over, then went back to their lives. Little moments stacking on top of each other until they become a morning worth remembering. By the time I finished, the plate was empty, the coffee was cold, and my to-do list was still waiting. But somehow I didn't mind anymore. The last croissant was somehow mine, and maybe today that's enough of a victory.
Fourth coffee of the day, which is too many. I know that the guy behind the counter knows that. He didn't say anything, just made it, which I appreciate more than I should. Window seat has this particular afternoon light, the kind that makes everyone look like a film still. Woman at the next table writing something by hand. I haven't seen that in a while, actual handwriting.
Ordered the cold brew, then switched to hot. The logic made sense in the moment. I've been making decisions like that lately. Small reversals, nothing catastrophic.
Notebook open to a blank page since Tuesday. I keep carrying it around like it's gonna fill itself. Brought a pen too, matching set, very prepared. The page remains blank, very blank, impressively blank.
Song came on, I recognized from somewhere. Couldn't place it for about 4 minutes, then it came. That is a Kaya in a day one, 2019, the one that closed, the one everyone misses.
Memory works like that, sometimes a chord and then suddenly it's all there. The smell of the place, who I was with, what I ordered, what we talked about, gone now. Barista changed the playlist around 5, something with guitar like this but slower. I wasn't mad, I was already elsewhere anyway. 2 tables over, a couple not talking, comfortable, quiet. I've been
Sitting here for 2 hours now. Came to do something, did none of it.
watched the street outside change shifts. Afternoon people leaving, evening people arriving. There's a version of productivity where this counts, where sitting still in a place and just being in it is the thing you needed and didn't schedule. I'm choosing to believe that version right now. The coffee went cold again, 3rd time today. Different coffees, I'm starting to think it's a pattern about me, not the coffee, me. Outside, a delivery guy stopped to check his phone. Stood there for a long minute, just reading, then put it back and rode off slow, like he got some news that needed sitting with.
Pigeons on the ledge across the way, doing that thing where they all face the same direction. Some agreement they made that I wasn't part of, probably the right call.
I'd complicate it. 5:30 now, light going sideways. Gold should leave, probably in theory, but the chair is soft and the music is slow, and the next thing I have to do isn't here yet. Waiters not rushing me, I'm not rushing me.
Outside can wait another 20 minutes.
It's been waiting this long already.
We stayed until the cafe closed. We stayed until the cafe closed, without meaning to. The original plan was 1 coffee, maybe 2. And suddenly, the sky outside had already turned orange. The lunch crowd came and went. Students packed their bags, remote workers closed laptops. The music changed 3 different times, and somehow we were still there. The waitress stopped asking if we wanted anything else, which felt like an achievement outside. People hurried home carrying groceries, umbrellas, phone calls, and unfinished days. Inside, time seemed less organized. The guy near the window spent an hour writing 1 page, then smiled like it was enough. An older couple shared 1 slice of cake in one conversation for nearly the entire afternoon. The cafe slowly emptied, chair by chair, table by table. Sunlight disappeared. Streetlights took over. The espresso machine finally went quiet. We stayed until the cafe closed, because leaving never felt urgent. Some days are like that. Nothing special happens, yet somehow you don't want them to end. When the staff stacked chairs, we finally stood up, grabbed our jackets and stepped outside. The street was cooler now, the city softer somehow. And for a second, everything felt exactly where it was supposed to be.
The wrong train was fun. I got on the wrong train around 4:30. Not dramatically wrong, not another city wrong. Just 3 stations in the opposite direction. The kind of mistake you only notice when the view starts looking unfamiliar. I checked the map, looked at the next stop, and laughed a little. Nobody seemed concerned. The train kept moving, the afternoon kept going. The world didn't stop to point out my mistake. A kid across from me was trying to balance a chocolate milk without spilling it. An older man slept peacefully through every station announcement. A woman by the door carried a bouquet of flowers wrapped in brown paper, like she had somewhere nice to be. The wrong train was fine. Maybe because I wasn't in a hurry. Maybe because I was tired of treating every small mistake like an emergency. Outside the window, streets passed by that I'd never noticed before. A bakery with a hand-painted sign. A record shop hidden between buildings. A tiny cafe with 3 tables outside. The kind of places you only find when you're not looking. I got off eventually, walked across the platform and waited for the train back. The sun had dropped lower, the shadows stretched longer. The station speakers played a melody I almost recognized. For a few minutes there was nothing to do except stand there and watch people arrive, then leave, then arrive again. The wrong train was fine, not because it took me somewhere better, because it reminded me that not every detour needs fixing immediately. Some were worth seeing through. When I finally made it home, everything was exactly the same. The dishes still waited, the emails still existed. Tomorrow still had plans, but the day felt different, like it had quietly expanded without asking permission. And honestly, I was glad I missed my stop. The last empty seat by the window. The last empty seat by the window was somehow still there.
Every table looked taken, laptops, coffee cups, unfinished conversations scattered across the room.
The cafe felt alive without being loud,
the way good places do.
I almost turned around,
Thought about finding somewhere else.
then I noticed it.
One chair, one table, sunlight spilling across half of it like it had been saved
For somebody running late, I ordered an iced Americano. The barista looked tired,
but in a friendly way,
like she'd already survived.
3 separate mornings today.
Outside,
A bus pulled up, people stepped off carrying backpacks,
flowers,
grocery bags, entire afternoons
the last empty seat
by the window.
turned out to be perfect,
Not because of the view,
because it slowed
everything down.
the glass softened the traffic, the sunlight warmed the table.
And suddenly
There was nowhere else.
I needed to be.
A little kid pointed at a croissant larger than his hand.
An older man folded a newspaper.
For the 3rd time without reading it,
Someone laughed near the register
and half the room smiled.
without knowing why.
The coffee got colder,
The sunlight moved,
the day kept
happening.
one small moment at a time.
When I finally stood up
The seat was empty
again, waiting patiently for whoever needed it next.
The record shop was playing Miles Davis. The record shop was playing Miles Davis. Before noon, door wide open, music floating out into the sidewalk like it forgot where it was supposed to stop. I only went in because the sun felt too strong and the shade looked inviting. The owner nodded once from behind the counter, then went back to reading something old. The shelves leaned slightly, the floor creaked. Every record looked like it had a story attached. Somebody had loved these songs before I ever found them. The record shop was playing Miles Davis, and nobody seemed in a hurry. A college student flipped through jazz albums without buying anything. An older woman searched for a singer she couldn't remember. A guy in a baseball cap spent 10 minutes deciding between 2 records and somehow left with neither outside. The city kept moving, buses arrived, crosswalk signals changed. People checked their phones like answers might appear if they refreshed enough inside. The trumpet kept drifting through the speakers, soft and patient, the kind of music that doesn't chase attention. It waits for you to slow down first. I found a record with a worn out cover, corners bent, colors faded. Somebody must have played it hundreds of times, maybe during dinners, maybe during heartbreak, maybe on afternoons exactly like this one. The record shop was playing Miles Davis, and for a little while the whole neighborhood felt connected. The cafe next door was grinding coffee beans. A bicycle bell rang outside. Someone laughed from somewhere down the street. All of it fit together
like part of the same song eventually. I bought a record I didn't need. The owner smiled like he'd seen that happen 1,000 times before. When I stepped back outside, the sunlight felt softer. The street looked the same, but somehow I noticed more. The flowers near the corner, the smell of coffee, the sound of people talking. The record shop was playing Miles Davis, and maybe that wasn't the reason. The day felt better, but it definitely helped. Green tea in the cup, sunshine on the floor. Yeah, nothing else matters right now. Let's flow. Green tea steaming, a pale emerald hue. Sitting by the window watching the day renew. The vibraphone is ringing like small crystal bells, clearing out the shadows where the heavy memory dwells. I take a slow sip, feel the clarity return, appreciating every single lesson that I learned. Life isn't a race to the finish line, my friend. It's about the spaces that we choose to extend. Look at the garden, look at the open sky. No need to ask the heavy questions, no need to ask why. Just exist in the moment, let the track loop sweet. Feeling the gentle pulse of the morning heartbeat.
Green tea and sunshine calming my soul, making me complete, making me whole. Let the smooth fusion wash the stress away. We're gonna have a beautiful, peaceful day.
I spend my hours studying the art of the sound, finding the treasures hidden deep underground. AI can make the pattern, but it can't feel the peace of a quiet morning when the inner struggles cease. It doesn't know the comfort of a warm wooden floor, or the simple joy of opening the back door. That's why I keep it human, keep the phrasing relaxed. Never overcomplicated, never overtaxed. Just a clean stream of consciousness over the chords, finding our harmony far away from the source.
Green tea and sunshine calming my soul, making me complete, making me whole. Let the smooth fusion wash the stress away. We're gonna have a beautiful, peaceful day.
So as the morning unfolds and the world gets loud, keep your inner peace, stand tall and be proud. You don't have to shout to make your voice heard. There's a power in the quiet of a well-spoken word. Foggynight channel bringing comfort to the ears, washing away the anxiety and the fears. Grab your cup, take a breath, let the light shine in. This is where the best days finally begin.
Green tea, sunshine, perfect alignment, goodbye.
Listen to the morning whisper. It's telling you to breathe. Yeah. Check it out.
Dewdrops resting on the tips of the green leaves, like little diamonds hanging from the cottage eaves. The world is still asleep, wrapped in a quiet haze, before the busy hours turn into a frantic maze. I step into the kitchen, let the water boil slow, watching the morning light start to overflow. There's a poetry in waiting, a beauty in the pause, living by the rhythm of nature's timeless laws. I pick up my pen, let the thoughts start to sketch across the wide horizon where the dreams start to stretch. No need to rush the verse, let the jazz track breathe. We got a beautiful tapestry that we're about to weave, like a dewdrop in the morning, pure and bright. We survive the darkness of the heavy night. Now we shine our light for the world to see, living out our lives in perfect harmony. The sax keeps crying, telling stories without words, mimicking the melody of the early morning birds. I think about the journey, the paths that I crossed, the things that I gained and the things that I lost. But every single setback was a lesson in disguise, preparing my spirit for this exact sunrise. I'm a 40-something creator, still refining the style, finding my peace in the middle of the mile. So let the bass walk and let the keys play. We're painting a masterpiece out of this day, like a dewdrop in the morning, pure and bright. We survive the darkness of the heavy night. Now we shine our light for the world to see, living out our lives in perfect harmony. So if you're listening to this at the start of your grind, leave all the negativity and baggage behind. The fog is rolled out, the sky is wide open. Every single promise that was made is unbroken. We keep our heads high, keep our souls intact, moving forward daily, that's a matter of fact. Foggynight signature, morning edition, clearing our mind, focused on the mission. Dewdrops melting in the sun, our day has just begun. Peace.
Yeah, the sun is up, the shade is gone. Time to stretch the legs and move on. Let's get it. Sunlight hitting the yard, painting everything gold. A brand new canvas for the stories to unfold. I step outside, feel the crispness of the air. No time for complaints, no time for despair. The lettuce seeds I planted are reaching for the sky, teaching me a lesson as the clouds drift by. Growth takes time, it takes a little bit of rain, but the sunshine always follows after the pain. So I lace up my sneakers, ready for the morning stroll, letting the bossa nova rhythm take complete control. My stride is steady and my vision is clear, chasing away every single lingering fear. Walking through the sunlight, leaving shadows behind. A peaceful state of living is what I'm trying to find. Step by step, we're moving into the bright day. Let the music guide you all along the way. Ooh, la, 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 yeah, yeah. I see my neighbors waving, giving a friendly nod, reminding me we're all connected karma's green side. Life is too short to be trapped in a cage of stress. I'd rather count my blessings and focus on progress. Studying the art, creating tracks from the heart. Every single sunrise is another place to start. No artificial flavor, keep it rugged but sweet, like the feeling of the grass underneath your feet. We turn the page over, write a whole new verse, making our reality better, never worse. Walking through the sunlight, leaving shadows behind. A peaceful state of living is what I'm trying to find. Step by step, we're moving into the bright day. Let the music guide you all along the way. So let the music echo through the valley in the hill. For the dreamers who are working with an iron will. This is the soundtrack for the morning routine. The cleanest energy that you've ever seen. Keep your focus sharp, let your spirit expand. We got the whole world waiting in the palm of our hand. Foggy night turning bright, keeping the vibe alive. This is the rhythm that helps the soul survive. Sunlight and shadows, we walk in the light. Have a beautiful day. Yeah. 2 a.m. is for the overthinking, but 9 a.m. is for the reset. Drink up. Yeah. First sip of coffee, warm spreading through my soul. Getting my mind right, taking back full control. The aroma rises like a prayer in the morning air, clearing out the remnants of yesterday's despair. I look at the blank notebook sitting on the desk, ready to clear the mental clutter and the stress. No news notifications, no digital noise allowed, just the quiet comfort of a silver-lined cloud. The upright bass plucks a rhythm so profound, grounding my spirit to the beauty I just found. We spend so much time chasing what we think we need, when the simple morning ritual is the richest seed. Warm cup in my hand, watching the fog clear away. Welcoming the sunshine, greeting the day. Let the jazz rhythm wash over your mind. Leave all the heavy shadows far behind. Yeah. Every day's a new workout for the heart and the brain. Learning how to find the sunlight through the window pane. I watch the steam swirl, creating in the light. A temporary art piece fading out of sight. Just like our worries, if we learn to let them pass, instead of holding on and shattering the glass. I take a second sip, feel the energy ignite. Ready to face the world, ready for the fight. But doing it with elegance, doing it with style. Keeping my composure and the confident smile. Warm cup in my hand, watching the fog clear away. Welcoming the sunshine, greeting the day. Let the jazz rhythm wash over your mind. Leave all the heavy shadows far behind. So here's to the creators, the early morning crew, who are building up their kingdoms from a different view. Don't rush the process, let the coffee steep slow. That's the exact way your inner strength will grow. Foggy night channel vibe turning into morning grace, shining a gentle light on every single face. We stay grounded, we stay true to the craft, steering our own ship, commanding our own raft. First sip, last drop, we never stop. Peace. can from the second shelf. The cold one I've been saving since last Thursday for no real reason. Changed out of work clothes before opening it. That part matters, don't ask me to explain. Today had a meeting that was an email situation. That was followed by a second meeting, also an email situation. In hindsight, somewhere between 2 and 4, I forgot what month it was. Turn the overhead off, lamp only from here. That's a rule I made. Take away receipt on the table from 2 nights ago. I'll deal with it or I won't, it's not escalating. I've been eating standing at the counter lately, not in a sad way, more like I haven't decided about the table yet. The table is fine, I just haven't committed. This is where I am with furniture in my 30s. The fridge makes a sound at intervals. I've stopped noticing it except when I notice it. Like right now, there it is. Now it's gone again. Pick something I've already watched 3 times. Settled in before it started. That specific comfort of knowing what's coming. Underrated, genuinely. Second can was the question by around 9. Answered it, went to get it. Stood in the kitchen for a second, just standing. Then got it and came back. Mom texted asking if I ate dinner. Said yes, which was approximately true. She sent a sticker of a cartoon bear holding rice. I sent back a thumbs up. She replied with 5 hearts. The drama I'm watching has 42 episodes. I'm on 9, which means there's 33 left. I've been thinking about that ratio, like a resource I get to have. Work thing I forgot to send is still in my drafts. I'll do it tomorrow or explain why I didn't. One of those 2 things will happen. I've made peace with not knowing which yet. Outside, it's still going, I can hear it. Someone's having a phone call on the stairs. Bass from somewhere 2 floors up. Scooter on the main road, gone. The 3rd can is a maybe. I keep going back and forth. The question is less about the can and more about what time I want to feel like it is. Tuesday was a full thing today, got through it. Now I'm here, beers cold, lamps on, shows running. That's the whole update. Air changed sometime yesterday. Not temperature exactly, something else. The way it sits in your lungs before you breathe out. That means something's coming, always does. Wore the coat I haven't touched since March. Still had a receipt in the left pocket. Dried up pen, half a subway ticket. March me, left all of that in there for November me. Trees on the main road gave up their last ones today. 2 leaves, the stubborn ones on the corner oak. Held on past the others by about 3 weeks. I noticed them every morning, quietly glad. Bus was late, I didn't check my phone. Stood at the stock with my hands in the pockets of March. Breath going white for the first time this season. Watched everyone else is doing the same. The Pojang matcha on the corner came back out. Folded tent and red plastic stools means the vendor knows something about code I haven't learned yet. Hot fish cake smell hit from half a block away. Bought one and ate it walking. Paper cup of the broth to hold just for the warmth. Guy who runs it nodded like he remembered. Maybe he did, maybe he nods at everyone. Same result. Convenience store felt warmer than it needed to. Stayed in the chip aisle longer than made sense. Bought 2 cans of something and a hand warmer. The square kind that you shake. Hand warmer lasted 40 minutes. I kept shaking it after. You can tell when it's done, but you keep shaking. Some habits don't need a reason. I looked up when the first snow is expected. 4 different sources gave 4 different answers. Closed the app and looked at the sky instead. Gray and even, not giving anything away. There's a version of this exact night where I'm waiting for someone at a station, standing near the exit checking every face. I don't know why I keep thinking about that version. Maybe it's just this light, this Pacific November gray, that puts a station in your chest somewhere. Empty platform, announcement echo, no particular train. Tonight I wanna walk the unclean version, before the snow covers what's underneath. The gutters and the cigarette filters, the everything that white makes temporary. Delivery bikes going past GS25, fluorescent out to the sidewalk. Two guys eating something on the curb, no jackets. Either brave or not paying attention, I can't tell. Tomorrow or the day after, it'll all be white. People will stop and take the photo, but tonight has its own thing going on, and nobody's photographing tonight. Tonight.
Second coffee going cold on the table. I keep meaning to drink it. Woke up at 9 and didn't do anything about it, which is actually a valid choice on a Saturday.
Light coming through the blinds at that angle, where it lands in a stripe across the floor. The cat would sit in that exact spot if I had one. I don't have one, just the stripe. Playlist shuffled into something I haven't heard in years. Sounded like 2013, a specific Tuesday in 2013. Convenience store unigiri, someone else's umbrella. Weird how a chord can do all of that. Made eggs the long way, yolk stayed whole. Felt genuinely good about it, not gonna lie. Ate standing at the counter because why not? Dishes are someone else's problem, that someone is future me. I got 3 tabs open, I'm not reading. One is a flight, I'm not booking. One is a recipe I'll probably never cook. One is just still there from last Wednesday, no idea. Neighbor downstairs is playing something slow. The bass comes up through the floor. I've been living above whoever that is for 2 years, and that's everything I know about them.
2 pigeons on the railing outside doing pigeon things.
One left, one stayed, both unbothered.
I watch for longer than I should admit.
Window just makes it easy to stay in one place. Phone's been face down since noon. Haven't died yet as far as I can tell. There's a version of Sunday me that'll regret this. That's his problem, honestly. Light shifted, that orange thing at the edges means 3 o'clock is either here or coming. I've done nothing that I planned and several things I didn't. Reorganized the spice shelf for 11 minutes. Looked up a word I already knew. Read 2 pages of a book from 4 months ago. Forgot what happened before those pages started from the beginning. Fell asleep for 20 minutes.
Woke up with the book on my chest.
Light was different.
Softer.
Later.
The stripe on the floor.
Moved 6 inches.
While I was gone somewhere.
Made the 3rd coffee. It's still getting cold on the table. Some things just go the same way every time.
Saturday doesn't mind.
The barista remembered my order. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I barely remember my own passwords most days, let alone what I ordered 3 Tuesdays ago. But when I stepped inside, she looked up, smiled a little, and said, "Large iced Americano," like it was the most normal thing in the world. For some reason that hit harder than it should have. Maybe because lately everything changes so fast. Apps update overnight, stores disappear. People move away without much warning. Even favorite songs get skipped halfway through. But that morning, something stayed the same. The coffee shop smelled familiar. The tables were still uneven. The old speaker in the corner still crackled occasionally. The guy by the window was working on something that looked important, but probably wasn't. The rain outside was trying to decide whether it wanted to commit or not. Little drops, then sunshine, then more rain. Like the weather couldn't make up its mind. I sat near the front, same seat as usual, without realizing I'd apparently become one of those people. People with routines, people with places, people who show up enough to be remembered. The barista remembered my order, and somehow that made the city feel smaller in a good way. Like maybe we're not all strangers after all. Maybe we just cross paths so many times that eventually we become part of each other's day. Even without trying, around noon the shop got busier. Students arrived, office workers escaped for lunch. Someone brought flowers, someone brought bad news, someone brought both. The door kept opening, the bell kept ringing, life kept entering, one person at a time. I watched a little girl carefully stir whipped cream into hot chocolate like she was solving an important problem. I watched an older man fold the same newspaper 3 different ways before finally reading it. I watched sunlight move across the floor slowly enough that nobody noticed except me. The coffee got warmer, then colder. The playlist changed 3 times. My phone buzzed with reminders. I ignored most of them, and for once I didn't feel guilty. Maybe productivity can wait an hour. Maybe the world survives without immediate replies. Maybe sometimes it's enough to sit quietly and exist. When I finally stood up, the barista waved and said, "See you tomorrow." Like it was already decided. Maybe she was right. Maybe I'll be back, not for the coffee, not even for the seat, but for that strange comfort of being expected somewhere. The barista remembered my order, and honestly, that was the nicest thing that happened all week. The last croissant was somehow mine. I walked in late, later than usual, later than I promised myself I'd be. The cafe was already busy, laptops open, coffee cups half empty. Someone taking the meeting way too seriously. Near the window, the display shelf looked picked over. Only crumbs and labels remained. Most of the good stuff was already gone. At least that's what I thought. Then I spotted it. One lonely croissant sitting on the corner tray, like it had somehow survived the morning rush. The guy in front of me looked at it, I looked at it. We both knew there was only one left, but he ordered a muffin instead. And suddenly the universe made room for me. The last croissant was somehow mine, not because I deserved it, not because I was lucky, just because life does weird things sometimes. I found a seat near the front glass, watch people pass with places to beat. Coffee arrived, still steaming, butter flakes falling onto the paper tray. The first bite felt better than it should have, maybe because I almost didn't get it. Funny how that works, we notice things more when we nearly miss them. Outside a delivery driver double parked. Someone jogged through a red light. A dog refused to move until its owner agreed to go the other direction. The city was negotiating with itself again, and somehow everything felt lighter. A woman reading a mystery novel laughed out loud for no reason I could hear. Someone dropped a spoon, 3 people looked over, then went back to their lives. Little moments stacking on top of each other until they become a morning worth remembering. By the time I finished, the plate was empty, the coffee was cold, and my to-do list was still waiting. But somehow I didn't mind anymore. The last croissant was somehow mine. And maybe today, that's enough of a victory. Sometimes you gotta leave the city. Find the places where the air is clear. Welcome to the valley. Deep in the valley where the heavy mountain fog descends, it's where the concrete kingdom finally ends. I watch the mist roll over the tops of the pine trees, feeling the cold touch of the early morning breeze. No notifications flashing on the glossy screen, just the oldest wisdom in the valley of green. I walked up the trail looking for a peace of mind, leaving all the petty arguments and stress behind. They say you gotta climb high to see the whole view, but down here in the valley the perspective feels new. Every rock, every stream, every whisper of the wind reminds me of the place where my story first penned. Echoes of the valley calling me back home, reminding me I'm never truly standing alone. Underneath the heavy mist, under the gray sky, we find the truth before the moments pass us by. Yeah, the base is deep like the roots in the soil, a stark contrast to the city where the pressures boil. I sit on a mossy stone, pull my collar up tight, thinking about the lyrics that I couldn't finish last night. But out here the words seem to flow like the creek, giving a strong voice to the thoughts that were weak. It's funny how the silence can be so damn loud when you finally separate yourself from the crowd. I look up at the ridge shrouded in the cloud bank. For this quiet moment I got nothing but to thank. Just a dreamer with a pen and a pad, finding beauty in the simple things I always had. Echoes of the valley calling me back home, reminding me I'm never truly standing alone. Underneath the heavy mist, under the gray sky, we find the truth before the moments pass us by. The fog will eventually clear, but until then, enjoy the view inside Foggynight. There's a comfort in the blur, a beauty in the dim, where the lines of reality start to get slim. You don't have to be perfect, don't have to be bright, you can just be a shadow in the middle of the night. So let the bass roll and let the guitar weep, for the dreamers awake while the world is asleep. We find our own peace when the visibility's low, that's when the truest colors finally start to show. Keep your head up in the mist, look at the stars above. Everything we do it for the love. Echoes in the mist, fade away, peace, peace. Yeah. Pour another cup. 2 a.m. vibes. Let's talk. Yeah. Midnight espresso, steam rising in the dark. Sitting in the corner trying to find a spark. No book is open, but the pages staying white. Struggling with the verses that I'm trying to write. Clock is ticking louder as the world goes to sleep. Got a million promises I'm trying to keep. Looking at the steam roll swirling in the air. Life is just a puzzle and it isn't always fair. Outside the cafe, the fog is rolling in. That's the exact moment where the stories begin. I take another sip, feel the warmth in my chest. Gotta keep on moving, ain't no time for a rest. Sipping on this bittersweet melody tonight. Everything is blurry but the music feels right. Let the lo-fi rhythm wash away the pain. Dancing with my shadow in the midnight rain. They tell me write a hit, make it bounce, keep it short. But my emotions cannot fit into a 2-minute report. I need the canvas wide, I need the brush strokes deep. I'm writing verses while the rest of the zip code is asleep. I learned that silence isn't empty, it's just full of answers. Like autumn leaves in the wind, acting like quiet dancers. I look at the photo sitting on the wooden desk. Take a deep breath, clear the stress from my chest. The past is a teacher, the future's a gift. Even when the tectonic plates start to shift. Sipping on this bittersweet melody tonight. Everything is blurry but the music feels right. Let the lo-fi rhythm wash away the pain. Dancing with my shadow in the midnight rain. Bring it back to the essence, the core of the art. Before the commercial greed tore the culture apart. I'm speaking to the insomniacs, the creators, the late night crew, who are searching for a feeling that is honest and true. Don't rush the process, let the track breathe, let it stretch. Every single lyric is a sketch that you can't unsketch. We're approaching 4 minutes and I still got a lot to say, because a foggy night doesn't just clear up before the day. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes a little bit of grace. So find your own tempo in this chaotic, fast-paced race.
Midnight espresso, keeping me awake for my own sake.
Staring out the window, watching neon raindrops fall. Shadows on the pavement, no one left for me to call. Walking through the mist, yeah, my thoughts are running deep. City never wakes, but the memories never sleep. Echoes of your laughter and the static of the air. Looking at the places where we used to be a pair. Now it's just a ghost town, wrapped in velvet blue. Every single corner holding on to pieces of you. Footsteps on the concrete, keeping time with my heart. Wondering exactly where we drifted apart. Was it something that I said or the things I left undone? Now I'm moving solo under a forgotten sun. Lost in the foggy night, chasing the fading light. Walking the streets alone, wishing you were inside. Rain on my shoulders, cold wind in my soul. Only these melodies keeping me whole. Counting down the hours till the morning brings the dawning. But the darkness is a blanket and the silence is a warning. Spitting these a cappella bars to the rhythm of the breeze. Praying for a peace of mind, begging on my knees. People pass me by like a movie on a screen. Living in the spaces right between the unseen. I take another breath, feel the chill in my chest. Gotta keep on moving, ain't no time for a rest. Rhyme after rhyme, yeah, I'm weaving the thread. They're clearing out the cobwebs hanging inside my head. The fog covers up all the scars of the town, while the neon signs wash the sorrow right down. Lost in the foggy night, chasing the fading light. Walking the streets alone, wishing you were inside. Rain on my shoulders, cold wind in my soul. Only these melodies keeping me whole. Can you hear me through the mist? Are you out there in the dark? Every lyric is a match, trying to find the spark. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trying to find the spark. Yeah. So here I stand, the anchor in the middle of the storm, where the cold air meets the lyrics and it makes them warm. I spit the truth until the ink runs dry, the vision clears, navigating through the static of my deepest fears. No auto-tune, no digital tricks to mask the pain, just an honest voice standing naked in the heavy rain. If you're listening to this in your room, feeling isolated, just know the masterpiece you're building is just understated. We're the night owls, the dreamers with the foggy eyes, turning our heavy nights into a beautiful sunrise. Just another foggy night, just another lonely flight. Yeah. Shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah. Foggy night vibes. Turn my headphones up a little bit. Perfect. Let's talk. Yeah. The city looks like a watercolor painting that got ruined by the rain. Every neon sign is bleeding, trying to wash away the pain. I'm leaning on the balcony, watching the exhaust pipes blow. Thinking about the people that I used to love a lifetime ago. Where did they go? Did they find what they were looking for? Or did they settle? Life is like a rose, man, you're constantly losing a petal. I kept my petals inside the pages of a dusty book. Sometimes I open it up just to take a second look. Yeah. Remembering the days when we didn't care about the algorithms. We were just moving to the beat of our own natural rhythms. Now everything is quantified, optimized and sterilized. I miss the days when human eyes were actually surprised. lost in the haze, counting the days, walking through the fog in a million different ways. But the rhythm keeps me steady when the ground starts to shake. This is the only promise that I'll never break. You see, the AI can copy the notes, but it can't copy the scars. It can't feel the weight of staring at the sky without the stars. It doesn't know the feeling of a pocket with the broken zipper, or the taste of cheap whiskey from a silver flipper. That's why I write it rugged, leave the edges rough and unrefined. I want the listener to feel the machinery inside my mind. The fog outside my window is rolling thicker than a wall. It's swallowing the neighborhood, the trees, the cars. It's got it all. But it's a comfort, honestly, a blanket for the weary soul. When you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to play your role. Just let the lo-fi track loop, let the trombone cry. We're just drifting through the evening under the heavy sky. It's crazy how a simple beat can make you feel so much, like a time machine. Yeah, bring it back to the essence, the core of the art before the commercial greed tore the culture apart. I'm speaking to beat insomniacs, the creators, the late night crew, who was searching for a feeling that is honest and true. Don't rush the process, let the track breathe, let it stretch. Every single lyric is a sketch that you can't unsketch. We're approaching 4 minutes and I'm still got a lot to say, because a foggy night doesn't just clear up before the day. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes a little bit of grace. So find your own tempo in this chaotic, fast-paced race. Foggy night, keep your head up in the mist. Yeah, foggy night, keep your head up in the mist.
Yeah. 3:15 a.m. Everybody's chasing the light, but I'm just watching the fog. Listen.
Look, my footprints on the asphalt never seem to leave a trace. It's like I'm running in circles trying to escape this place. The clock is ticking, mocking every single move I make. How many promises do I have to keep for my own sake? I see the shadows dancing underneath the broken street lamp. My notebook pages getting heavy from the midnight damp. They want the fast life, the cash, the flash, the neon glow, but I'm just fine right here, letting the lo-fi water slow. My mind is crowded with the ghosts of who I used to be. A young kid staring at the mirror trying to set him free. But now the lines around my eyes are telling different stories of silent battles fought in darkness, far from stages, far from glories.
When the world goes quiet and the mist rolls in, the sweat delusions end and the truths begin. Hold on to your soul, don't let it drift away. We're just beautiful shadows waiting for the day.
Yeah, just waiting.
Waiting for the day.
Yeah. They tell me, write a hit, make it bounce, keep it short. But my emotions cannot fit into a 2-minute report. I need the canvas wide, I need the brush strokes deep. I'm writing verses while the rest of the zip code is asleep. I learned that silence isn't empty, it's just full of answers. Like autumn leaves in the wind acting like quiet dances. I take another sip of coffee, it's gone completely cold. Just like some friendships that I really thought would never fold. But that's the tax you pay for growing up and standing tall. You gotta learn to find your balance even when you fall. So let the tape hiss, let the vinyl record crack and pop. This is the rhythm of a heart that isn't bound to stop. You know, people think the fog hides the world, but it doesn't. It just forces you to look at what's right in front of you, what's inside you.
Yeah, don't run away from it.
here I am, the anchor in the middle of the storm, where the cold air meets the lyrics and it makes them warm. I spit the truth until the ink runs dry, the vision clears, navigating through the static of my deepest fears. No auto-tune, no digital tricks to mask the pain, just an honest voice standing naked in the heavy rain. If you're listening to this in your room feeling isolated, just know the masterpiece you're building is just understated. With the night owls, the dreamers with the foggy eyes, turning our heavy nights into a beautiful sunrise.
City lights fading out, just the fog and me.